Hello, I hope you're a cat lover. I am, and I'd like to tell you about this book called Freedom Cat. All right, it's about a cat who lives with his master, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is the one who helped write the Declaration of Independence with the congressman. If you're an AR fan, then it's an AR book. 900179. Also, it's level 2.9. Want you to listen to find the answers to these questions. Thomas Jefferson is writing an important letter to who? What does Mr. Jeff always use as a fan? Mr. Jeff is what Freedom the cat calls Mr. Jefferson. Freedom the cat dreams all the time about hunting and something else. What does Freedom the cat like to do? And he dreams about it. The men talk for 3 days about what? Who signs the Declaration of Independence on July the 4th, 1776? I don't want to forget that this was written by H.H. Cardigan and illustrated by Philip Smith. And that's important too. Now read along with me as we read about freedom. There's Mr. Jefferson. There's Freedom the cat. Sometimes being a cat is not so easy. Summer has just begun, but it is already very hot in this room that I live in. My master is so busy that he almost forgot to feed me today. Of course, he is so busy that usually he forgets to feed himself, too. My master's name is Thomas Jefferson. My name for him is Mr. Jeff. I'm keeping him company while he writes an important letter to the King of England. Meow. The year is 1776. It is the first day in July. Who is he writing the letter to? Turn to page 4. I'm hungry. I meow to Jeff the next morning. Meow. Mr. Jeff puts down his pen, even though he is in the middle of writing a sentence. Here is some food, Freedom, he says. Mr. Jeff calls me Freedom. He says it's what this letter is about. Even though I've eaten, I'm just thinking about food. On the farm where we usually live, I can find anything I want. Here, there is nothing I can reach but a dish of chocolate candies. Cats don't like chocolate. For the time being, we are living upstairs in a brick house on Market Street in the city of Philadelphia. Mr. Jeff is renting this floor of the house while he writes his letter. We really live out in the country in Virginia. To be honest, I don't like living in a city. For one thing, I could hunt for my food when I was in the country. Here I have to depend on Mr. Jeff and his bad memory. Turn to page 6. I would also like it better here if it were cooler. I think Mr. Jeff wishes that it were cooler too. He always uses his hat as a fan. What does he use his hat for? Sometimes he fans me. Then I purr. Meow. Mr. Mr. Jeff is a good companion. Mr. Jeff is here because a lot of people in America are tired of being ruled by a king of England. They want to be free. These people picked Mr. Jeff to write their letter to the king. The letter will say that from now on, Americans will be free. They will not have to do what the king says anymore. Now that I think about it, maybe I know what this freedom letter is all about. Living here in this room under the roof has been miserable for me. I dream all the time about hunting and playing on Mr. Jeff's estate in Virginia. Hunting and doing what? When I'm here, I'm my own master. Here I need Mr. Jeff to feed me and can't go outside at all. I can't do as I please. Maybe that's what it's like for the Americans. It is taking Mr. Jeff a long time to write his letter. He knows it will be very important. It will be one of the most important letters in history, and I want him to write it. Many important Americans will sign it. I wish I could sign it too. Turn to page 10. Page 10. Mr. Jeff is finally done. Meow. Look, it's done now, Freedom, he says to me. It took a long time to write, but this letter will surely make the king sit up and take notice. That's good, I think. Now can we go back to Virginia? Mr. Jeff puts on clean clothes. He feeds me. Then he heads for the door with his letter. Where are you going, I wonder? I'm going to show this letter to the Continental Congress, he says. Those must be important men who will sign the letter, I think. Hooray! Turn to page 12. Page 12. For 3 days, they talk about the letter. 3 days, huh? As each man offers his opinion about how to change it, the meeting seems to continue forever. For 3 days, 3 days, huh? No one except me thinks about the heat. They're not thinking about the heat. The men wake up in the morning and they think about the letter. They think about it all day long, and they think about it when they go to sleep at night. I think about what the letter means, and I dream about freedom. Okay, what did they think about for 3 days? Page 13. Finally, the men agree about the letter. Everyone seems happy. But wait! Some of them want to make a small change at the top. Oh, a change, another change? Others think about the middle needs fixing. Oh no, another change? Sound familiar? Others don't like the way the letter ends, and they want to make a change. The meeting goes on. Page 14. They talk for what seems like years. Finally, they have a letter they are all happy with. It's about time. Now everyone can't wait to sign it. They want to send it off to the King of England right away. Page 15. It is July the 4th, 1776. One at a time, the congressmen signed the letter. Who signs the letter? They call it the Declaration of Independence. The end. And guess what? The Declaration of Independence is written in cursive. So if you ever want to read it, you might have to know how to do cursive. Okay. When Mr. Jeff comes back to our room, he is very happy. He picks me up and gives me a big kiss on the head. Then he gives me some cream. Our letter is on its way to the king, he says, and you were a big help. How did I help, I wonder? Mr. Jeff keeps on talking. Your company kept me from getting too homesick for Virginia while I wrote this letter. I think, good for me. Now I can't wait to get back to the farm and freedom. Meow. I purr as hard as I can.